stories that put any parent on edge. A security lockdown and a high school on high alert.
When they walked in the classroom with the gun, I was like,
oh, scary.
A 4-year-old wandering off campus and into traffic.
And I grabbed her and I pulled her out the street.
And a student with a gun ending his own life in a crowded courtyard.
This is an active investigation.
Those are all events at the Austin Independent School District this semester alone. So how safe is your child's school?
The answer can be nearly impossible to find. KXAN investigator Erin Cargile is digging into the security checks schools perform, and she joins us live from an Austin elementary school with this education investigation. Erin?
Good evening, Leslie and Robert. This right here is a copy of the safety audit checklist schools are required to perform every 3 years. Now, some of the questions include, is the staff required to wear a photo ID badge at all times? Are there ways to cover windows during a lockdown? Are there working security cameras inside and outside the campuses? But the results are confidential, protected by law. That means you can't see them because it would expose the weaknesses on these campuses. So if we're not checking them, who is?
Okay, you may come.
If it's been a while since you've been inside a school, things have changed.
So we built the school in the late 90s.
Architect Jared Sturzinger helped remodel the entrance of this elementary school.
So we walk up to the building, and immediately you're greeted with a second set of doors, which is actually locked.
It forces visitors into the front office to check in, the only way to get inside the rest of the building.
Every school that we design today includes this as a basic principle of design.
No question, they want this.
Correct.
The changes brought on by lessons learned from tragedies like Sandy Hook Elementary, where nearly a year ago a gunman killed 26 people, most of them children. After that, Austin ISD installed buzzer systems at the entrances of all elementary schools. Office staff must identify visitors on a live camera feed before letting them in. But school safety goes way beyond the front doors.
I work underneath the police department.
Emergency Management Coordinator John Gallete is in charge of safety audits on every campus.
You know, as a parent myself, one of the first things that I ask myself when I'm doing a safety and security audit, is this school safe for my child?
Like most districts in the state, AISD uses a 62-page checklist created by the Texas School Safety Center at Texas State University.
So you think districts are doing a good job conducting their own audits and then making changes as they see fit?
The findings from the district audit report do suggest that.
Kathy Martinez-Prather collects a summary of the data statewide and posts those generic results online for the public and lawmakers. Like 46% of districts require staff to wear ID badges at all times, or 54% of districts have an anonymous reporting system for threats or concerns. There are no specifics about each school or district, and the center can't make them fix any problems exposed in the audit.
We don't want them to see us as a regulatory agency. We want them to see us as someone who's there to help them.
Bottom line, there are no requirements for schools to make any security changes or to tell the public what those changes might be. So in the end, parents are putting their trust in districts to make the safest decisions possible.
Speaking for AISD, I believe it's working well.
How quickly do you work to get that problem fixed?
I would say that when we debrief on that day, they do a very good job of correcting that issue right away.
Now, in AISD, only school police and campus principals are privy to the full report. Even the school board only sees a summary. Robert?
Yeah, and Aaron, we understand one of the things the audits include is sending people out to the campuses to test the safety measures that are in place there, such as locked exterior doors.
That's right. These are called intruder assessments, and during our investigation, we did some surveillance of our own. We sent several photographers to multiple Austin schools. They parked their news units on public streets like this, and they focused on portable classrooms. The doors to these portable classrooms are supposed to be locked. It is campus policy, and we are happy to report that Over and over again, we witnessed teachers taking their keys out of their pockets and unlocking the doors to those portables, so certainly a good sign. I also want to mention a couple of times at different locations, somebody saw our cameramen, thought that they looked out of place, and actually contacted the school, which is exactly what they should do. We're live in Central Austin tonight. Erin Cargile, KXAN News.
So who does have the power to go after school districts not meeting the state safety rules? The Attorney General tried to crack down about a year ago, right after Sandy Hook, when he called out 38 school districts who had yet to turn in their audit reports to the School Safety Center. Another 40 reports were incomplete.
As we've seen in Connecticut, this is not the type of event that can be anticipated. These 78 school districts can't think, well, we haven't seen any sign that we may have to be concerned about it, because you just don't know.
We've learned 3 of those districts still have yet to turn in anything. None of them, though, are in Central Texas. The AG's office tells us they don't have the authority to take action against schools not following the law, and it's up to parents to question the districts and keep them on the right track.
And we also learned the law does not require the state's 212 charter schools to submit anything to the Texas School Safety Center. Online now at KXAN.com, we have the school safety checklist and the state audit summary for you to check out. Just search for this story on the main page. And if you have thoughts on this investigation while you're there, join us for KXAN Live. That's an interactive chat between you and Erin Cargile, where you can ask her more questions about this report. KXAN Live online at KXAN.com.
And if you have an issue you would like us to check out, send us an email at investigates@KXAN.com or call our tip line 512-703-5255.